views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Meetings of the Minds in partnership with BronxNet. These segments are geared towards making sure you know who our members are. Each episode will enlighten you about the partnerships our members are creating and the resource they are providing to strengthen our business communities and beyond. More importantly, you see firsthand who supports you and a clear understanding of who you should support. That's right, it goes both ways, hermanos y hermanas. Remember, we are still a membership organization, so if you're not yet a member, it's super easy. Just visit www.hispanicchamber.nyc, www.hispanicchamber.nyc, or follow us on LinkedIn, New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, all spelled out. It is a pleasure to introduce a longtime member of the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Naipa, New York Power Authority. Hoping we can deliver an electrifying conversation with none other than Director of Supplier Relationship Management, Eric Alemany. How are you, Eric? And how is the family?
Hi, Sulma, and thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well. I'm honestly doing well. The family is doing fantastic. Thank God that everything's been going well, and we have not been impacted by everything that's been going on in obviously the world. But God bless. I'm so happy that my family is doing well, that everyone is safe and healthy these days.
Yeah, that's very important to us. Que ya sabes que la familia es todo para nosotros. Eric, we are so happy to have you in the position that you're in. You're the Director of Supplier Relationship Management at the New York Power Authority. What does that mean for those of us who may not be familiar with NYPA?
Well, great question. So first of all, I oversee supplier relationship and diversity programs at the New York Power Authority. The New York Power Authority is America's largest state-owned power organization with 16 generating facilities and more than 1,400 circuit miles of transmission lines. One of those power plants are actually located out in Astoria, Queens. If for those who may not know, it's a 500 megawatt clean power plant that is situated there, generating electricity for the state of New York. NYPA has a diverse customer base, which includes a lot of large and small businesses, non-for-profit organizations, community-owned electric systems, some rural electric cooperatives, government entities such as the City of New York, the MTA, the Port Authority, some of the large players there. And so with that, we provide low-cost power or low-cost electricity for the state of New York. And we are the only statewide electricity supplier. So that's a little bit about the company at large. We also promote energy efficiency programs. So we help these same customers in implementing energy efficiency upgrades at their facilities to help them reduce their energy consumption to ultimately lower greenhouse emissions for their facilities.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much for breaking that down to us. It seems like NYPA is in a lot of places. A lot of times you're literally right in front of us and we don't even know who you are. So I'm grateful that we're having this conversation. And a lot of this can get very technical and very scientific. So I'm going to ask something that I have some strength in, which is small businesses, right? And the Latino and Black owned businesses. Why is this market very important to NYPA at this point? And reaching out to those small businesses?
No, gracias for asking. I mean, so in order to kind of answer that question, I want to kind of give you an idea of what our vision or is, holistically. So last year we launched our Vision 2030, which is looking at what our plans are for the next 10 years as an organization. And so we identified 5 strategic priorities that look at preserving our plants. So that would be A. B, looking at our transmission lines or the power lines that we have. So if you think about those, the power lines in our streets, we actually own one of the larger ones across New York State that goes east to west. So making sure that that stays relevant. We also want to help, I mentioned earlier, helping our customers reduce energy or meet their clean energy goals. And then we also have our canal system. With that being said, why is working with Hispanic and Black businesses so important to us? Well, part of that is making sure that as we look at these strategic priorities, that we're working with local businesses and entities to help us meet those goals. And we feel that, again, there's a lot of value in working with small businesses, Hispanic, Black owned, et cetera, because there's innovation to be held. There's opportunities to bring new ideas, new approaches to what we're going to be planning over the next 10 years. And we know that us Hispanics and us Black, and we live in a diverse background, that there's an opportunity to really leverage the local community to help the state do great things moving forward. And so that's really why we're trying to branch out in the local communities, because we know we can bring a lot of value to the community and creating jobs.
Right. Value is definitely something that we have. We also have a lot of talent within our communities. And I think conversations like this, it's really geared towards making sure that our business communities are not intimidated, right, by the process to do work with entities such as NYPA. What do you believe has been the greatest challenge, though? And how do you intend to overcome them?
So in order to answer that, I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I'm of Puerto Rican descent. That's my background, my love. I grew up in the Bronx. My father was in retail, and he also was a small business owner. He would tell me that he provides a lot of goods and services that people are looking for. But at the same time, there's other things that may not matter to others. So what's important is making sure that at the end of the day, he does a good job. He provides a good service that people rely on him. They care about what he's providing. Similarly, on the back end, speaking for a company like NYPA, not everybody knows who we are, who the Power Authority is. So I think what happens is one of the bigger challenges is entity like our organization getting to know who the small businesses are, and vice versa, the small businesses knowing who NYPA is. And so trying to bridge that gap and being able to educate one another to let us know, hey, we have a mutual need here. We have an opportunity to work together, but we just didn't know it. And so how can we do that is really getting the word out. It's spreading the message, making sure that we're having discussions like today, like you just mentioned, to let people know, A, we exist, B, how can you reach out to us? Is there an opportunity to work together? And what does that kind of look like? And really kind of explaining step by step, this is what you do, you register here, you send an email here. So really kind of helping that journey. Because again, I know that there's something that can work for both our organizations.
No, you're absolutely right. We have a lot of city and state agencies pushing to meet specific goals within the Latino and Black-owned businesses. And you've touched a little bit about this in how you answered the last question. What makes NYPA a more desirable place to work?
Great question, Sulma. So I would say that this industry, working with local businesses in general, is about developing relationships, developing long-standing relationships. We actually have a Hispanic-owned supplier that we've been working with for 30 years. Why? It's not just because they do a good job, but it's also because of the relationship. We developed a relationship of trust. We developed a relationship of being reliable. We developed a relationship of goodwill. And you know, we know that we understand how to do business with one another, but ultimately, you know, it's an opportunity to understand where we're going, you know, what our plans are for each organization, and how can we help each other. So what we want to do is develop more of those type of relationships. How can we engage more diverse firms and have and establish those long-term relationships? And in order to do that is consistently have the dialogue, have those conversations, let people know where we're going, what the struggles, what the challenges are, what the needs are, and how can we help one another.
It's pretty extraordinary, you know, just exchanging thoughts with you and ideas on how to get more resources to the community. You are so engaged in a way that in sort of layman's term, like we understand, and we really believe that you are with us. So we see that even in your leadership. You guys are amazing, and I'm gonna give kudos to you because you are our members, right? And we're very selective with our members, and by that I mean we want to make sure that our communities understand that we are partners with you, that we are partners for each other, and our goal is to really take our business communities and the Black and Latino community to levels, you know, that we believe that they deserve, and we are here to help them through it, and we appreciate all that you do. What is the best way to start the process? Is there a website to visit? ¿Cómo hablamos contigo?
No, gracias. So really one, you know, a couple of takeaways to do this is, first step, visit our website. Our website is www.nypa.gov/procurement. So in there, what you would do is you register in our system, you enter in your details about who you are, company profile, etc. In there, we'll list a couple of things. One is, what are some current opportunities that may be relevant, that may be important to you know, our business community? That would be A. But B, also in there, you can also list out contacts for your firm as well, because what happens is there's a lot of other companies that currently are doing business with the Power Authority that are looking for small businesses to help them, you know, meet certain aspects of their work. And so it's an opportunity for networking, even virtually, through our system, to find out if there may be some existing projects or work that one another could work on together. So that's step number one. So again, NYPA.gov/procurement registration. The second thing that I would like to say is, we want to get to know specifically, at least in my department, we want to get to know the firms themselves, or, you know, the businesses. So what I would suggest is, if the firms put together either a capability statement, something that just explains who they are, what they do, what products or services that they're providing, and send that to the following email. Send it to supplierdiversity@nypa.gov. One word, supplierdiversity@nypa.gov. It'll come to us, we will receive it, and then ultimately we can take that. We'll either follow up directly to find out a little bit more, or take that information and pass it along to others within our organization that A, may be looking for that type of work or service, or B, even match them up with some of our prime contractors who may be looking for these type of services. Again, I'll tell you right now, my mantra, our approach aquí is really developing relationships. And how do we do that? Is really to get to know you.
Yeah, no, exactly what we're about, building those relationships and getting to know one another so that we can support each other. And with that, I just want to say, everyone, we are still a membership organization. Okay. So if you're not yet a member, please go to www.hispanicchamber.nyc or follow us on LinkedIn, New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Eric, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. I am confident that there is more to come and that this will not be the last. Bendiciones, hermanos, and we'll talk soon.
Gracias.